Welcome back everybody to another Geometry Dash tutorial. Today we're going to be learning how to use the collision trigger. The collision trigger is apparently one of the hardest triggers in Geometry Dash, but I can assure you it's literally one of the easiest. So we're going to be learning everything about it, how to use it and what it can be useful for, and it's all going to be super duper beginner friendly, so make sure to slap the sub because we're trying to hit 100,000 on here too. So basically the collision trigger, if you add it, if you go to here, you're going to see these boxes and they're going to have numbers in them, and the purpose of this trigger is very simple. It can trigger another trigger. Let's say I add this and I go to edit object and we pulse the background to gray, or let's say red, like that, fade in, fade out. And now you guys, if you scroll, you guys can see that if we just play the level normally, it's just gonna pulse. But what if we want to play this as soon as this thing hits that thing, you know, and we want to make mini games or anything like that? It's really helpful. So to do that, we actually just want to give each collision block, by going to edit object, just give it a unique block ID. So by clicking this plus, it will give you the next free one, and let's give the second one a 2. And now all you want to do is literally just go to the collision and say, if block ID 1 touches block ID 2, then I want to do this thing. And to do this thing, you want to give it a group ID by going to here. Let's give it 3. I don't know why, but this actually also calculates or sees the block IDs as like group IDs, which is kind of worrying, but let's just put this as 3. And now you want to make sure that it's set to spawn triggered, and if you want to also multi-trigger, if you want to trigger it more than once. And now we want to trigger 3. Oh my god. So you want to go to the collision block, collision trigger, and then edit object, just click here 3 and activate group. So it's going to activate this one. You guys can see nothing's going to happen, but now let's actually move this towards here. So to move it, we're just going to give it a group ID, and you guys can see that this one has the ID of 4 in here. You just enable the show objects info, and we're just going to add a move trigger, move 4 to the right slowly, and you guys will see if we go to platform mode that nothing happens. Why? Because they need to be dynamic block. Reason for that being is, let's say you only had it like that, right? Then the game only checks once and this position is basically saved, which means if you move it away, then for the game's logic, the thing is still here, you know, even if you move it away, like it's just checking over here, which is not cool. So the one that you're gonna move, just make it a dynamic block so that it constantly checks. And now you guys can see, as soon as this thing touches it, it just you know, flashes it to red, which is pretty cool. So let's get into more of these guys. So what is the trigger on exit? It is not as soon as it touches it, but as soon as it leaves it. You guys got it? So now if you make this a bit slower, you guys will see that it actually did trigger because we forgot to enable this. So trigger on exit, this should only trigger this thing when we exit completely, like that. Exactly. So depends on what you want to do. This is going to be pretty cool. So let's just do a small example. Actually, I just want to show you guys this P1, which honestly is pretty self-explanatory. So if player 1 touches 2, so if this guy, we're going to remove the 4. If the player touches 2, then it's going to play the thing. And you guys realize that it was on exit, and that's why it took so long. But now yeah, if you don't have this as multi-trigger, it's only gonna work once. So if you want to make it work more than once, just enable this. So what can this be used for? If you guys go to my level, I have a level, it's called Game in 3 Hours, and it's been featured, and you guys will see that it's basically a 2-player game. I made a 2-player game, and you guys can see that I am down here. I can move left and right, and I can shoot my knife, right? And if I shoot it at the player, you guys, if you look at the left, he's gonna lose a HP, and if I shoot again and it touches him, it makes him lose HP. So you guys can think how this might be done using the collision block. So what you want to do is you just want to add the knife right here, and you guys will see that around it is this hitbox, and I made it small so that it perfectly fits with the knife. And then you just make a dynamic block, add this, and then somewhere in here there is a collision block. This is so messy, I made it so long ago. So here I found it. So here this collision block, and the reason for that is because we have preview shaders, just disable that. We have this collision block that once P1 touches 2, so the knife of the other guy right here is marked as 2. So if this knife, it's moving alongside the hitbox, by the way. If this knife touches me down here, then I will lose HP using this entire system. I, increment or decrement this thing, which is 10. And yeah, that is actually pretty much it. Let's just do a small example of what you can use this for. This is like really, really helpful for like mini games. So I'm just going to go ahead and enable the ground as well as the grid. And I'm just going to do something very simple. So we're going to do 1. We're going to add a spike, do 1. And we're going to make this spike go up like that, like slowly. And let's say you have a wall in here and you want it to stop right here, but you don't really know where it is. You could like stop it manually, but that's going to be a bit too hard. So we're going to add a collision block on top of it, and we're going to give both of them the same group ID, so that now if you are platform mode, it's just going to go straight up. So as soon as we touch this right here, we're going to have to like stop it. So we're going to go to here and we're going to give these a block ID of 1, and these guys are going to be 2, and dynamic block. Most importantly, if it doesn't work, always remember maybe the dynamic block is not on. And if 1 touches 2, by the way, 1 touches 2 or 2 touches 1 is basically the same thing, I believe. I think so. I haven't tried it, but so far I've just used it anyway and it worked. So we're gonna stop this one, right? As soon as it touches, we want to stop it. So I gave this a group ID of 3, and then we're gonna stop 3 by adding the stop trigger, edit group, and then just put it in here. And we're gonna make it spawn trigger, and then we're gonna spawn that stop trigger if this occurs. So now easy peasy, and the spike instantly stops. You can make this as fast as possible, and you guys will see that it always stops unless you go absolutely nuts, in which the spike is just gonna like clip. Yeah, I saw that. So this is because the game just can't keep up, but I don't think you're gonna ever like need that much accuracy. But yeah, now we have made a wall, and since dynamic blocks make the game lag, I would highly recommend optimizing them. And in here we really only need 1, because if 1 touches it, the rest is probably going to touch it. So that's pretty cool. I also have a level called slime goo. All of the mini games, I use a lot of hitboxes in them. So slime goo, you guys might have seen it. It's just a guy that can go up and can stick to things. I stream it on my main channel trying to verify it. Really miserably died at 99% 7 times, which is absolutely insane. But it basically has a hitbox in here, 1, and these guys have 2. And I just keep moving the player until he touches this, and then I just stop all the movements, basically. Because I think this is a very cool idea, and just spam like these guys everywhere. And since this is not actually the player, if he touches the spike, nothing's gonna happen, obviously, because it's literally just like if this thing goes onto here, nothing's gonna happen. So by basically checking if 1 is touching 5 or 4, if 1, so the player is touching 4, which is the spike, then we want to die using these triggers. We want to spawn a particle as well, particle number 55. It's right here, a splashing effect. And if we just add this spike right here, you guys will see that if he touches it, he's actually going, yeah, we can't see it because I'm actually dying. So like that, and yeah, you guys saw that. So shaders and all using the collision block, because it is a very cool thing. And I guess that's it for this video. I hope you guys learned something new. Make sure to slap that like and subscribe right now. I will see you guys in the next video. Also, make sure to watch one of those playlists that are on the screen right now. I think you guys are gonna find them extremely helpful, and I will see you guys in the next video.